Okay, I have got to get this out before I close for the evening. I have got to say this. I have been in study for it is now 12:15 in the morning, and I have been in study since about 7:30 p.m. Since 7:30, and now it's 12:15. Right when I'm about to end my studies. Right when I'm about to end my studies. Basically, the last scripture that I'm about to close the book. Oh my gosh, I've got to say it. I've got to say it. I have no choice but to release this. Those of us that call ourselves speaking for the Creator, having the power of the Creator as the Creator, we have a responsibility in such a time as this, with what's going on in this world. God has just shown me that we have got to show up for the mercy and the grace of this world, of those that are caught in the midst of this mess. Let me read it to you, because those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Let them hear, so we can stand up and get this mess up under our feet. And it is coming through the power of the divine beings, not by their inventions. They don't have a clue. God is holding us accountable to do this. And let me show you. I'm going to read to you the last scripture as I was about to close the book. Oh my gosh. I am in Psalms chapter 106, verse 28. Again, I repeat, Psalms chapter 106, verse 28 through 31. And thus saith the Creator, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say this. This is God, the universe, the Most High, the Father, whatever, Jesus, whatever you want to call your source. If you're calling yourself divine, powerful, the power of God, the words of God, the wisdom of God, we have an accountability to act and do as God. And what he said right now, Psalms chapter 106, verse 28 through 31. They joined themselves also unto Baal Peor. I looked up Baal Peor. Baalpeor. What Baal Peor, that means Lord of the opening. There has been an opening. Just like we have the portals of the new world, the new earth, there has been an opening of a different kind of chaos, hell on earth that has come through the opening. Whatever hell has come through the opening. and ate the sacrifices of the dead. Listen to what I'm saying. Please do not dismiss this. They joined themselves also unto Baal Peor, the Lord of the opening, and ate the sacrifices of the dead. What are they benefiting from all of the deaths? What is the benefit for them of all of the deaths? An opening has happened, and something was released through that opening, and it's causing a mass deaths. Who's benefiting from these deaths? From this opening, they have joined together and they're eating the benefits of the dead. What benefits are they getting from all of these deaths that you're flooded in your ears day after day? People are hooked on CNN, hearing nothing but death all day long. Who's benefiting? Oh, they are gathered together. They have joined this release of whatever has come through this opening, and they're eating the sacrifice of the dead. Somebody's there benefiting from this. Thus they provoked him to anger with their inventions. Inventions. What has provoked the anger of God, the universe, the creator? What has provoked? What invention has provoked the anger of God, of sacrificing, eating of the dead, of the deaths, of what has been released through this opening, hell on earth, and they're eating, benefiting from the deaths, from their invention. The disease, the virus, was an invention. They're benefiting from the sacrifices of the dead, of the deaths, from this release of this invention through this opening. And they have provoked hey, they done stirred it up. We want to talk about the times of the apocalypse. This is it. But it only can go so far. They only can do so much. And it's time. God is calling those of us that have claimed we have the power in our words, in our wisdom of hearing from God, of doing what God is telling us to do. He's giving us instruction right now. I'll keep going. He say they've joined themselves unto Baal Peor. Oh, there was an opening, and the invention was released through the opening. This thing was released through the opening, and they're benefiting. Thus they say, and they joined themselves also unto Baal Peor and ate the sacrifices of the dead. They're benefiting from the deaths. Thus they provoked him to anger with their inventions. Oh, it was invented. Oh, whatever. They're benefiting from the deaths. Oh, from an invention that was released through this opening. They done provoked the right one now. and the plague break in upon them. The what? The plague. This invention was a plague that break in, that bust through that opening. And they have provoked our Creator, our God, our Most High. They could only go so far. Then stood up Phinehas. That's the word that I was researching. And Phinehas, from the cards that I'm creating, says, person giving wise, insightful counsel, spiritual guidance for future prophecy. God speaks through them. Okay, if we're claiming to be Phinehas, however, I apologize for chewing this word up. We're claiming to be preachers, priests, and prophetess, and priestess. People that God speaks through, that God uses, the power, the wisdom. Okay, if we're claiming this, look what God says. And executed judgment. Then stood up Phinehas and executed judgment. God is calling us, those that call ourselves holding the power of God, the wisdom of God. He's calling us to stand up in judgment. It's time for us to do something. It is a responsibility for us to stand in the power of God, in the words we speak, in the actions that we do, in the thoughts that we think. Okay, it's time to come to, we're at war now. What's up? What we're going to do? Phinehas. I don't know how to pronounce it. But if we're claiming the wisdom, the power, God speaking through us, God using us. Okay? He says, Phinehas, and they stood up. It's time for us to stand up. Phinehas, let's stand up and execute judgment. And so the plague was stayed. So it's time for us to speak against this plague. If in the days of the Old Testament, of the Bible book days, they stopped rain, they stopped the sun, they opened the Red Sea. Okay, if all that power was possessed, we better stand up, Phinehas. Stand up in the power of who we claim we're walking in, believing in. They stood up, Phinehas, and executed judgment. Stop your mess, virus. Stop your mess. Corona, plague, whatever the hell, go back to where you come from. Get up under our feet. You are disintegrated. You are cast away. Cease your workings here on this earth. Stop your whatever the hell agenda you got. Stop. Cease it and get the hell up out of here. It's time for Phinehas to stand up in the power and execute judgment. A divine casting away. A divine stop. Now. And so the plague was stayed. The plague was stayed. Stop now. In the power of the Creator, speaking through Phinehas, you stop now. take your hell up off the people of the land and get the hell back wherever you came from. Go back through that opening. Whatever you came through, go back. Stop. Find Ehaz. Let's stand up and execute judgment against this plague. God has given us this accountability. We claim the power. We claim the wisdom. And that was counted unto him for righteousness, unto all generations forevermore. God is calling us that are standing in the power, that are believing in the power, speaking of the power, speaking with the power. We ain't faking this to make it. Stand up and execute judgment against this plague on the land, where one put away 1,000, two put away 10,000, and we all coming together and speaking as one voice. We are God. And we're speaking against this plague, this corona, whatever. You stop and get the hell off this land in the power of God. And we are, I am God.